Well, welcome everybody to the Female Solution Self-Care. We are so excited to be here. Um, I want to just kind of do some housekeeping before we get started talking about oral health and the connection to chronic disease. Wait till you see what we have, or wait till you hear and see what we have to share today. What I want to just kind of announce is that we're not airing live on, well, we are, Naeem is actually sharing the show on Blog Talk, but we are not taking in phone calls on Blog Talk. And the reason is that after reviewing a plethora of my shows, we found out that your voices were not being heard. And so, for whatever reason, the two technologies are not playing nice together. So it's really important to me that you are heard. And it's important to me that the show is heard. And so she is sharing on Blog Talk, our executive producer, but you will not be able to call in. So if you would like to ask a question during the show, please just share your question on Facebook or on YouTube, and we can go from there. All right. So today we have Larry Oberheu. He is with Fresh Mouth, and he is a plethora of information about oral health and how it connects to chronic disease. And I've always known that our teeth connect to different organs in our body. And so if you have a problem with your tooth, it could just be that organ or what have you. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not an expert on it at all. And so I'm so excited that Larry's going to sit here and share the knowledge, share the wealth about what that really looks like and what are the solutions to having a healthy mouth, right? A fresh mouth. All right. Without further ado, let me bring on Larry. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Jodi? Good to be here.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
You got like a race car chair back there, red and black.
Yeah, nice and comfortable. So long
Yeah,
hours in front of the computer, right?
yeah, you got to take care of your spine health too, right?
For sure. Yeah. This one's pretty comfy. So
Ergonomics.
yeah.
Ergonomics. So Larry, um, you know, there's so much to talk about when it comes to oral health, but where do you want to start about teaching people about what they need to know about gums and teeth and how it relates to chronic disease?
Yeah. I mean, people don't realize that how interconnected we are in our entire body, but our mouth is so important. It has been called the epicenter of wellness. So wellness actually starts in our mouth. If you're not healthy in your mouth, you are 100% going to have issues within your body, and that is really kind of undisputable. I mean, kind of depends on who you ask,
That's
but
just amazing.
yeah.
I'm a channel, and so when you
Mhm.
said that, spirit came in, and so what they said was, Jodi, you've always thought, and it's true that you know health starts in your gut, like healthy gut, healthy brain. But they said, where do you think it really gets started?
Right, your
Your mouth. That's
gut,
where the
yeah,
garbage is going in, right? Or the good
right.
stuff.
Your gut biome is fed from your mouth biome. So there's a lot of talk about your gut biome, which is super important, no question. But it actually starts in your mouth. So that feeds your gut. So the two work kind of symbiotic, or they're supposed to be symbiotic together relationship. And the I guess the worst that we have oral health care, the worse it is, the worse our gut is going to be, and other things. I mean, I think we talked about this before, but the meridian. I think we can see that a little bit. The tooth meridian chart. I mean, basically shows you that every tooth in our body is connected to an organ. So if you have chronic disease or chronic issues in your life, or somebody that you know, it most likely it starts in the mouth. There's actually some specialists that actually believe that upwards of 80% of all chronic disease
Oh, you
actually
froze.
overlooked, and
Oh,
and
you
and
froze.
definitely not
Hold
enough
on,
light shed on it.
Larry, you froze. Hold on, because you said you were right. You were saying about something about chronic disease, and you said, I think you said 80% of chronic disease.
80%. Some believe that up to 80%. Some actually believe it's higher than that. Actually, starts in your mouth. So, and there's been studies of this throughout the years. Actually, and there it is, right there. Yeah, excellent. The back in the 50s, there was Weston Price. He was kind of the leader in this, and he was a dentist that actually traveled the world, helping people with their teeth. If you go back even further than that, I mean, dentists actually originally were actually doctors. The apple a day keeps the doctor away. That is actually the dentist. Your dentist did way more than just your teeth back then, because even back then they knew that your teeth were kind of the start and an indication if you're going to have problem. But Weston Price had found that he took chronic disease, and mostly a lot of it was focused on MS, but other things as well, cancer and diabetes and things like that. And he found that it was correlated that these people had issues in their mouth, whether it be, number one, the big thing was a root canal. Root canals were probably the worst thing that was ever invented for our population. It has caused so many illnesses, so many deaths, and chronic disorders that we still don't even recognize today. So a lot of people, suffer from a lot of chronic disease and don't know that it's as easy as eliminating the problem in your mouth. But he
Well,
found that.
let me pause on that for a moment, because I always like to share my stories relative to what happened. So let
Mhm.
me take you back to 2007. I'm living in Arlington Heights, Illinois, and I uh, I had a problem with my mouth, with this tooth, so it's missing, and the dentist who could help me, like, possibly do a root canal, um, or just drill on it, he wasn't available. So, and the pain was excruciating. And so my dentist said, "Well, come in, I'll pull it for you, like a gift."
Yeah.
So, like a gift, wrapped up in funny paper. And and don't get me wrong, I mean, I was really sick anyway. Like, I had all these different conditions from being over medicated. I'm, over 200 pounds. And what happened was I started to connect the dots about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that when I had, even though I was super, super sick, that once I had that tooth pulled, I plummeted. So tell people why they shouldn't get their why they need to save their teeth at all costs. Go
Well,
for
it's
it.
funny. You just said that it was a gift, but you don't realize how big of a gift it was. If your other dentist would have did the root canal, you would have continual problems and maybe more,
Oh,
going forward.
really?
So the root canal causes so many issues and so many health conditions that people don't realize it. So Weston Price back in the 50s identified that this was a major problem. He actually took hundreds, over 1,000 people that he tested, but hundreds had MS and other chronic disorders. And we're talking about people that had MS that haven't walked for 4, 5, 6 years. They were wheelchair ridden. They couldn't get out, couldn't walk, and he identified, that the root, the chart which tooth was connected to the body, and there you go. He removed those teeth. He found that all these people had the same tooth infection. Majority was the root canal. After he pulled the tooth, within weeks, these people got out of their wheelchair and were able to walk again. It was like
whoa,
a
whoa, so I'm
miracle.
thinking he did me wrong. You're telling me he did me right.
Oh yeah, it was a really big gift
You know, I'm
because
gonna have a jaw
holy,
drop here, like all this entire the whole 2 hours, people. My jaw's gonna be dropping. So I'm gonna look closely at this. So if it was, so it's this. I think that's number 28. So that's your pancreas. That's number 28, right? And your stomach.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he found that after pulling these teeth, the people got immediately better. So that's how bad root canals are. And if you really think about it, it's actually kind of stupid. If you have a dead finger and it's dead, what happens to it? Gangrene sets in. And if you don't chop the finger off, what happens? Well, you eventually will die. I mean, the poison will literally go up your arm and kill you eventually. So anything that's dead on our body, it has to be taken off. I mean, if you have a gangrene leg, I'm sorry, they got to remove the leg. If they don't, you will die. Sepsis comes in, and all that bacteria feeds into our body, and you're dead. Why is a tooth any different?
Crazy shots of my face of the. Ugh.
Yeah. So, I mean, when a tooth is dead, that's what a root canal, does. The tooth is dead. They're gonna supposedly clean all the bacteria out and then cap it off and leave it in there and shine it up all pretty and put a cap over it and pretend it's not there. Well, that tooth is still dead, and that tooth feeds into every single part of our body. Depending on where it's at, it feeds that zone, and of course causes havoc and eventually MS, cancer, heart disease, all a host of different products.
Parkinson's. So it was after my mom. Wow, this is a wake up.
Yeah, the bacteria that's encapsulated in the tooth actually mutates and becomes heinous. I mean, really bad for our bodies, and of course, it just leaks in. So, but it's not just root canals. So,
leak in. I mean, let's all wake up here. Let's awaken, right? How can it not leak in? It's in your body.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly. So I would implore people that if you do have chronic disorder, look to the mouth. Probably the best way to do it is get a thermography done of your mouth, and you can actually see the infection, and then you'll know you need to have the tooth pulled. But it's not just root canals. It's also what they call cavitations. Cavitations are infections in the cavity of the tooth. Even if you had your tooth pulled like you did, which is actually way better than having the root canal, that's awesome. But if the tooth is pulled improperly, and that sounds dumb, but there is ways, the right ways and wrong ways, you could still have issues. There's what they call a periodontal ligament that needs to come out with the tooth. So if that's not taken out, that will actually deteriorate and rot and cause infections in the cavity, and again, leak into your body and cause havoc. Or you can just get infections in there as well. And this is all, I mean,
like things like ovarian cancer. So I'm just thinking my mom, she went from having these tooth issues, looking radiant and, well, really beautiful. I mean, she was just a bright light. And then she said having gum health issues, and they wow.
Yeah, and that just leads into chronic disease. So we need to take better care of our mouth. And unfortunately, everything on the market is designed to actually cause more problems. Your mom with a problem with her gums. I would guess, I would guess that she probably used fluoride toothpaste. She used alcohol-based mouthwashes. A lot of people, they get gum disease, they use mouthwash more. And, to try to.
Well, actually, she did at the beginning, but then when she was trying to reclaim her, sorry, I'm clearing. Reclaim her health, she used baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. But then I recently learned that the baking soda is fake too.
Well, not only that, that's not actually good for you either. Fluoride is really awful for us. So that's good that she's getting away from fluoride. And that's what, a lot of people, a lot of people are waking up and getting away from fluoride and learning the evil of fluoride. Fluoride is completely evil. One of the biggest tricks, put on mankind outside the COVID vaccine. But
And we can't
I mean,
talk about that, but yeah, I'll get kicked off.
fluoride is awful for us. It is a neurotoxin. It's terrible for us. It actually causes tooth decay. So the number one cause for tooth decay in America is fluorosis. Fluorosis is literally caused by fluoride. And when you use alcohol-based mouthwashes, which today we get more, a little bit more other things out there that are available. But back then, alcohol was the big thing. So we all use this alcohol. Well, alcohol actually makes your teeth fall out. It actually perpetuates gum disease and mouth issues because and peroxide can do actually even worse things to our mouth.
Peroxide can.
Absolutely, because peroxide, the
So
problem with
I just want
peroxide.
to, well, hold on. I just want to make sure people understand this. Guys, I've never studied the mouth. So, because I'm this holistic, all body health. I bought some information about 4 years ago. It's on my CD or my USB. Never got to it. Let's all thank Larry in advance for educating all of us. Okay. I guess there's going to be a lot of mic drops, jaw drops. Just saying. And Naima, our executive producer, would like you, when you're ready, to go over the tooth and the organ it's connected to. She said, one, they can't see it so well because I don't have a good photo here. I'll also look for a better photo, but go ahead and carry on. I'll look for a better photo and
Sure.
yeah, and then you'll share about that. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. I should probably have a PDF that's like you do there too. So I have the same chart, so it's a great chart. But yeah, peroxide. The problem with peroxide is peroxide, kills bacteria, so that's great. We have bad bacteria in our mouth, but we also have good bacteria in our mouth. So we don't necessarily want to kill the good stuff. But everything on the market either kills everything in our mouth or kills nothing in our mouth. That's what I was just starting to say. A lot of people are waking up and moving away from fluoride, which is fantastic. The problem is there's no good products out there to move away from. A lot of people go into peroxide baking soda, which actually isn't good for us. They go into all natural toothpaste, which actually isn't good for us either. And those are like actually tough things to actually reconcile with once you kind of learn this. And the reason they're not good for us is they don't kill bacteria. So they don't have the ability to kill bacteria. We talked about this a little bit, Jodi, about essential oils and stuff. Essential oils are phenomenal and they do really good things, but they don't and they can't kill the bacteria that are really bad in our mouths, which is like your streptococcus and gingivitis, tooth decay. These are very difficult bacteria to kill, and others, by the way. I mean, our mouth is filled with these bacteria, horrendous ones. And I mean, antibiotics that we use today have a really difficult time killing some of this stuff as well. Bless you. So these products don't kill that stuff, which actually 45% of people that stop using fluoride move back to fluoride. Why? Statistically proven you're going to get more cavities. Now, I told this to people before, and they said, well, I've been using natural toothpaste for the last 20 years, and I don't have any cavities. That's great. I mean, you're genetically built differently. You process toxins better, and you may have had a better mouth biome than anybody else to start with.
Wait, you're saying if they move back to fluoride, they don't get cavities, or they do?
Well, they move back to fluoride and have fewer cavities, which is kind of sounds goofy, but yes, but fluoride does kill these bacteria. So it does that. So fluoride does, all natural toothpaste don't. And I don't advocate for fluoride. I don't, because it will kill you too. So it is not good for us,
right.
But it is,
it's
kind of a,
it's kind of a, it's what I was talking about the other day. I had a short video I did. I went for a long walk. And every place that I was going, they had those signs on the lawn to be careful, don't touch the lawn because, it's basically going to harm you, harm the dog, harm everybody. And oh, okay. And I said, yeah, it's if it's gonna kill animals or whatever, it's eventually gonna kill you too, right? And
Right. But again, you got, unfortunately, the fluoride actually does fit a bill, but it is not good for us. So it's kind of one of those things is like, well, there's nothing else out there. And that's the real problem. We don't have anything to offset that. And that's when I started my company. That's what I looked at specifically. I looked at, and I didn't know any of this stuff actually. So when you start going down these rabbit holes, you kind of find all this out. And it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize fluoride was so bad. But all natural toothpaste aren't good either. And that's just because we don't have products on the market that do those things and don't harm us. So that's where my company kind of was born out of, Fresh Mouth. And what we do is we make a silver toothpaste. So Nano-Silver particles is what we use in our toothpaste, not fluoride. That's it right there. And we designed that specifically to fill the hole that we have in our oral healthcare industry today. And that is, we need to kill the bacteria. We don't really want to kill our mouth biome bacteria, and that's a big thing. So we want something that doesn't do it. Now, silver's amazing stuff. I mean, it's been around forever. I mean, literally thousands of years. Silver's been used medicinally. Silver is absolutely the strongest killer of bacteria known to man. It's actually stronger than any antibiotic that we have today. You put silver against the best antibiotic that we have today in medicine, silver annihilates it. And silver does so much more. So silver not only kills bacteria, germs, viruses, fungus on contact, it kills faster than anything. So antibiotics take days, weeks, or months to kill bacteria. Silver kills instantly. On contact, it annihilates bacteria. But here's a really unique feature of one of the unique features of silver. It doesn't kill good bacteria in our body. Now, that's amazing.
well, it's almost like it knows the difference. It's intelligent.
Well, yeah, kind of. What it is a lot of people mistook it for magic and stuff, and it's not. It's literally our bodies produce an enzyme that coats the good bacteria. Silver is just incapable of penetrating the enzyme. So it kind of like it was almost meant to be. And then it actually kind of was. Silver.
Say that again. So the silver.
So
Okay,
there's an enzyme that coats the good bacteria in our body. It's a milk-based enzyme, and silver is incapable of penetrating the enzyme, so it can't get to the good bacteria. So it annihilates everything else. It's like a bomb in our mouth that destroys all the bad but leaves the good behind. So it promotes a very healthy mouth biome. So now our good bacteria in our mouth says, "Wow, this is great. You just killed all our enemies, and we're able to multiply." So your mouth now starts to begin to multiply good bacteria, which is what we need. Again, feeds our gut as well. So now we're creating very healthy mouth biomes, which are extremely important for our entire body. And that's what silver does. And silver also boosts your immune system more than vitamin C does. So it's an immune boosting property. So as you're brushing your teeth, you're doing wellness for your entire body. Some people take colloidal silver. I think we talked about that a little bit, Jodi. Colloidal silver is amazing for our bodies. And people take it under the tongue, absorbs sublingually into your body, gets into your bloodstream, causes a boost in immunity, kills bacteria, free radicals, germs, and everything that don't belong there on contact, because that's what silver does. And then it purges from our body. So while you brush your teeth with our product, you're also feeding your body as well. So you're getting that silver into your body, increasing your immune system, helping with disease and infection and stuff in our body. And it's a positive thing to be doing every day. Most people don't. The silver actually does that as you brush your teeth. So it does great things in our mouth, great things for our body. And silver also is a healing agent. A lot of people use it on wounds, including the medical field. So silver speeds up healing by about 10 times. So especially diabetics with ulcer sores and stuff that don't heal, silver heals it. So if you use silver straight.
I just did a deck on diabetes, so I guess we're modifying the deck.
Yeah, silver's amazing for that. So and we use silver today in hospital settings, silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is used on burn victims because it literally heals the wound faster, number one. And secondly, it actually regrows the skin tissue. So the tissue actually regenerates. So it has regenerative properties. It has antibacterial properties and immune boosting properties. So, wow, what amazing that does. And what silver is actually clinically proven to regenerate enamel growth in our teeth. So there goes your regeneration properties. It actually regrows our teeth. By the way, that's the only thing that's ever been able to do that. So it can actually heal cavities naturally. We've had people that had cracks in their teeth that literally heal within about 4 to 6 weeks.
Really?
Gum
Yeah, you
tissue as
did
well.
tell me that, and I should have taken pictures because I've been using it now for what, 2 weeks? Which I wanna
Yep.
just say this, I have a plaque, that builds up behind my teeth, and it's just not building up anymore. Like, I used to have to
Right.
scrape every single day, and I don't have to scrape the stuff that collects behind my teeth. We have a lot of people, piping in. One, Gary Clemens, says, "I was using Nano-Silver toothpaste, but the company no longer has it available on their website." So, Gary, I put a link in there, um, so that you can, get this toothpaste that Fresh Mouth offers, okay? The other thing is that here's some other questions. Naima says, "I brush with baking soda. Is that not good? What's better?" Well, the Nano, this Fresh Mouth toothpaste.
Right. Well,
Um,
again, you get your baking soda is not poison, so she's gets a big thumbs up for not poisoning herself. So that's awesome. The
well,
problem is she's
actually, I'm gonna back up and tell you that it is. So I did some research. This is like I realized this last year. So
Mhm.
Arm& Hammer, is not good for you. Now, if you're
Really.
buying organic, the little small thing with Bob Mills, that brand, that's okay. That's real. It's not manufactured.
Uh, See, I didn't know
Mhm.
where that, but even the good stuff. Okay, so it doesn't have the ability to kill those bacteria as we just talked about. So that's the issue. That's where the silver comes in. The silver actually does do that. So
Yeah, I
the
think that the
silver is a
baking
great
soda is
plus.
I think the baking soda, and correct me if I'm wrong, is really just bringing a balance, a pH balance to your
Right.
mouth,
Hmm. So
and
it takes away some acidity and stuff, right?
yeah, but it's like you said, it's not killing the bad bacteria, and then, Vieta Robinson, she wants to know, is colloidal silver as good as nano silver? And I would love for you to explain that. And I'm gonna take the chart down for a minute and we can go over the chart in a little
Sure.
bit. So go ahead
That,
and
that, that, that is an awesome question. I love silver, so pretty versed on it. So colloidal silver, I'm not going to knock colloidal silver because it's been around forever and it is amazing stuff.
mhm,
A lot of it is just the process of making silver. So colloidal silver itself is made. Actually, you can make it at home. It's very simple. 9-volt battery. You need electrical cord. On a silver rods that are put in distilled water, and you leave it there for an extended amount of time. The longer you leave it there, the higher the ppm or parts per million that you get in it, and you can make it yourself. And a
really?
lot of people do.
Okay, next show, we're doing a DIY show. Go ahead.
That's right. Do it yourself silver. Now, with that being said, it is not the greatest silver for us. So that is a good silver. I mean, it does good things. Again, I'm not knocking it. But what we really want, so colloidal silver, when you make it that way, what actually happens is the process is that the atoms of the silver or ions, what actually happens is the electricity actually steals an electron out of the atom and making it a positively charged ion. So these ions of silver are what populates into the water. So you
Mhm,
got really what they call ionic silver. So colloidal silver is really ionic silver. What's the difference there? Ions don't contain any particles, so it's not real silver. So it's atoms of the silver or positively charged ions. Now, a lot of people would argue that that's better. because it's not metal, and metal shouldn't be in our body. And a lot of metals shouldn't be in our body. Silver's not one of them. Silver's a noble metal. Noble metals are completely different than normal metals. So noble metals are actually good for us. It's actually a trace mineral that belongs in our body. We should have silver. We used to get silver naturally from farming, from plants and vegetables and fruits that grow. We get that from the soil. Well, of course, we don't get that anymore because everything's over manufactured and processed. So zero silver. That's why people dose with colloidal silver, put it in their mouth, and get that in your body. Now, again, the atoms of silver have actually maintained some of the same properties as silver, so you're still getting some of those benefits. So those are all positive things. Negatives of ion silver, again, it's not real silver. So particles are very reactive, so they react with things around them. They can deactivate as quickly as they're activated. So when they come in contact with different things, such as stomach acids, actually it turns to silver chloride in our stomach. So a lot of people drink colloidal silver, which actually you're not supposed to do that. But
I've never been
that's
called to do that. Yeah.
yeah, you're not supposed to, and that's because it turns to silver chloride in our stomach, which actually can turn you blue. So that's the whole blue man thing. That's real. It's also very
Are you
rare.
saying I'm going to become a Smurf?
Yeah, Papa Smurf there. You can look that up on the internet. There's a lot of misinformation around him as well. He was a fanatic. He actually drank gallons of this stuff. You have to drink a lot of it for that to happen, but it can happen. Not only did he drink it, but he actually topically put it on his skin as well.
Wait,
And
you're saying Papa Smurf is not a cartoon character, but it's actually made out of real life?
there's a real blue man. Yeah, he's dead now. He died in his actually in mid-70s, I think, or something like that. But he actually turned blue. I mean, it's a permanent disorder. It disrupts the pigmentation of your skin, and it's irreversible. So, and he not only did he do it, I mean, he kept doing it. So after he turned blue, he just kept chugging this stuff. And so it became more of a, he was just kind of I guess a sideshow, basically, because he was really blue. But that's because, like I said, the ions, you're not really supposed to drink it. Now, colloidal silvers, when you buy them on the market, usually a 20 or a 25 or a 30 part per million. And really, colloidal silver is only about 5% real silver. So you are going to get some particles, but it's a very small amount. So at 20 part per million, you're probably getting 2 or 3 part per million, which is very low. Usually you want to try to get a higher amount of that. And it's difficult to do with the colloidals because of the way it's made. So a lot of people make really high doses, 100, 200, 500 parts per million. Well, now you can get up to those 20 part per million real silver particles. The problem is now you have 90 to 95% ions, which again can disrupt stomach acids. They can actually, even in your blood system, they can react with certain things and change. So it's not good for us to really overdo it with a colloidal silver. Nano-Silver, it's strictly the process.
On Nano-Silver, everyone, we're going to go to commercial real quick, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Nano-Silver. So now, if you know somebody who would benefit from this, send them the link. Okay? Send them the link. Let's get people to become a little bit more informed, because I'm learning too. I'm just like, wow. But we'll just go to a quick couple commercials, and we're going to come back and hear about Nano-Silver.
Of the solution.
Hi, I'm Jodi Suson with Suson Essentials. I started Suson Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Suson Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Suson Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing. Hi, I'm Jodi Suson with Suson Essentials.
Oops, we had the loop button on. Like, we're going to get that twice. So,
Loop it around.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. As most people who follow me know that I'm a channel. And so when I met Larry, not the first time, but the second time, and I started really exploring his product, I realized it was the missing piece for my oral health. And I want to just say that I do use a toothpaste, or have used in the past, through doTERRA, where it has clove. And I do know that clove is a strong anesthetic and has eugenol in it. It's an antiseptic, so it will fight bacteria that can cause infections. And they're good at fighting cavities. And I don't have the science on it. I'm sure Larry does, but I can't, and I use clove a lot, right? I use clove to fight a virus or bacteria, whatever. See your own health practitioner if you don't want to see me. But the point is that I can't deny how my mouth feels. And I can't deny that before I started using Fresh Mouth, that I had all this buildup of crap in my mouth, and it's not there anymore. And it's only been a couple weeks. And so, even if you are an oiler like I am, I love my essential oils. I think it's important, which is why I do what I do, is we have to look at a multimodal approach to healing. Again, I love oils. I love oils, and they are powerful. But, I also love pulse electromagnetic frequencies, and I love, so I'm not going to do one thing. It's just like your body is not going to heal. Like when we destroy our bodies, cancel. We don't destroy it with one thing,
Absolutely.
we destroy it with a multimodal approach. Right? Right. And so when we heal it, we have to heal it with a multimodal approach. And so, or let it heal itself with a multimodal approach. Because, I'm not the healer, right? I'm just a conduit, and our bodies are the ones that heal itself. And so, I invite you, I put my link in there. So I actually decided to represent the company. So there's my link. So if you want to buy it, I highly recommend you do. And I just also want to say this is cool shit.
We got a lot of cool shit.
So it's interesting. So, I can feel energy, and I can feel icky energy before it even comes through the door. Whether it's a person, whatever, or if I'm walking towards a building, it's got mold in it, I'll know that. Like, I can just feel stuff. Crazy, but true. So I took my toothbrush, right, and I put it into this UV protection thing, and it is cleaning my toothbrush. And I don't think you can probably hear the buzz, but I don't know. I think it takes like 5 minutes. You can see the light, the blue light. You see that in there? Here we go. I can't do this well. There we go. But anyway, so I take this out, and I can literally feel, because I can feel the difference between one toothbrush and another, because one's disgustingly dirty and one's not. Do you want to talk, before you talk about Nano-Silver, how dirty our toothbrushes are? Because I think we need to talk about why our mouth gets so gross.
Right,
'Cause
right.
the shit stick.
Toothbrush is a big component in some of the problems. Am I able to share any graphics?
Yeah, so if you go to present, I think you put it up and then I put it in. Like you share it
Okay.
and I put it on the screen is how that works.
So I click the present and then share screen.
Uh-huh.
There we go. So let's see if you can see this. Is that up?
Hasn't shown up yet.
Well, there we go.
Here, okay, so
Is that on
now
it?
so you've got me on there.
Can you see it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna add just so you've got we're kind of in other words, we've got too many. So show just the one screen if you could, okay?
How do I do that?
So you're gonna have options for Windows, and they're
Yep.
gonna give you different options, and I don't know which one you need to select on yours, but
Okay,
play with
so
that.
share screen.
Mm-hmm.
Share screen, and then it's going to ask me select window or screen.
Or you could just
Oh, so
email
I
me.
can just do that one. Okay, I gotcha.
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
I think I can do that. Let's see this one. Oh wow, there. Is that better?
Oh, awesome! Look at this, people.
So yeah, our toothbrush is literally the filthiest thing in our house. People don't realize how bad it is, but it has more bacteria than your toilet. 200 times more bacteria
So
than your toilet.
this is
So
why I call this a shit stick.
yeah, 100%. I mean,
I'm sorry,
this,
I came up with that this morning. I'm like, it's a shit stick.
it's funny because just and like I do expos, and I actually have a picture of a toilet brush with toothbrush on it, with toothpaste on it, and somebody going to brush their teeth with it. But Discovery Channel actually did a segment, and they said your toilet brush is cleaner than your toothbrush. So that's how bad it is. So
If
the
you're
average,
wondering why you're having oral health problems,
yes,
right? You're
yeah,
putting
I mean our
shit
tooth,
stick in your mouth.
yeah. The average toothbrush has about 100 million strands of bacteria living in it. That's disgusting. Literally, these are the bristles of your toothbrush, and they form actually matrices in the toothbrush, and these matrices are actually impervious to alcohol, to what cleaning them out. I mean, they actually protect themselves underneath it, and then they seep and leak out when you least expect it, and cause havoc in our system. So especially like if you have issues, like if you have gingivitis or some
What is that?
some issues, that's a bristle of your toothbrush
Oh,
under magnification.
Happy day? Happy day?
Yeah.
I'm
Happy
not sure. Is
day.
this a happy day?
Yeah. And so are these are actual bristles. So those are the bristles of your toothbrush. That's just the crap and the bacteria that grows on it, and they multiply. So a toothbrush cleans microscopic particles of food.
You could grow like mushrooms on your toothbrush.
Oh
Like
yeah, not the good ones.
Not the
Bad
good ones. Bad
Yeah,
ones.
not the good ones. Yeah. Fungus. Yeah, actually, I mean, fungus, bacteria, germs, viruses, you name it, grow on your toothbrush. That's why I said they're literally the filthiest thing in our house. And we put them in our mouth every day and we don't even think about it. So not a good thing. So, back here, it's like I said, it's literally, they've done testing on different bacteria or different apparatuses in our house. And the toothbrush by far is the filthiest thing in our house. So not good for us whatsoever. Let me stop there. So they, and that is actually when you're brushing your teeth, that actually, gets into your mouth and again gets into your blood system and can cause, some havoc. They actually did a recent study. The 30% of heart disease patients can be traced back to their toothbrush. That's actually how serious it is. So, there's some bacteria that we say, hey, kind of like, if you've ever heard the book Lick the Dog, it's kind of like, kids should get bacteria because it helps our bodies grow resistant to it. This isn't that kind of bacteria. This is heinous. I mean, these are the bacteria that can cause, flesh-eating viruses have been traced back to toothbrushes. I mean, people have died, believe it or not. Actual death has been related to toothbrushes, but heart disease, cancer, diabetes, you name it, toothbrushes can cause massive health issues. And again, we don't think about it. What do we do? Just wash it off and use it again next time. So, that's why we developed the, the UVs, because and much like what you showed there, our UVs are pretty awesome. So the UV light actually sanitizes your brush. So you just open it up, pop your brush in there, and then close it. And then, like you said, there's your light. This is a UV. It runs for 5 minutes. There's also a dryer inside there. It dries the brush because moisture breeds bacteria. So after about 5 minutes, it shuts off, and you get a nice clean toothbrush the next time you use it. I just leave mine in there, and after, next time I use it, I take it out and I use it. So we're real big on UV. Because we want a nice clean toothbrush to be swishing around in our mouth. And even in we do manual and electric systems. Our electric also has UV lights built into them, because you really should clean these things every single day, and you should replace them every single month. Your toothbrush should be changed every single month. They are heinous. They're bacterial wands, cesspools of bacteria. You want to get rid of them and start over. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to change my toothbrush. It's the American Dental Association says every 3 months. Well, let me tell you, in 3 months time, in just 3 weeks time, you got about 100 million strands of bacteria that live in that thing. Imagine after 3 months. They're literally just a nightmare for us and causing all kinds of problems. Why would we do that? Just throw the thing away and get a new one. But most people, they don't even remember. I ask a lot of people, when's the last time you changed it? And they're like, I don't remember. So that's kind of where we started what we call our Fresh Mouth Club, which is our subscription-based program. You don't have to do our subscription, but our subscription, we give you a toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, floss, and the timer, and we deliver it to you every day on a monthly basis, and something like that. This is our manual kit. Comes just like this in the bag. Of course, you can get our UV in there as well. But this is what we deliver. We give you our toothpaste, which is our Nano-Silver blend of toothpaste, and then we do a nano rinse. So the rinse is important too. The rinse is a Nano-Silver rinse. So after you're done brushing your teeth, the silver does some amazing things in our mouth. The last thing you want to do is swish it around with water and spit it down the drain. So this is actually designed to be a rinse, called a mouthwash too.
So I'm going to confess, I have it and I haven't used it. So what am I? I'll go. I got my glasses. First of all, is that too much water?
Way too much. You want to use about an ounce of water. So a very little amount, about an inch of water. So 4 to 5 drops. 4 to 5 drops is all you need of this. This is a high concentration of Nano-Silver, peppermint, and xylitol. So 4 to 5 drops, 1 ounce of water. You rinse after brushing. You're going to swallow it afterwards. Silver does amazing things for our body. This silver you can swallow. So colloidal silver, as we just mentioned, you can. This actually does. So these are true particle silver. They actually pass digestion. They actually do the same thing in our digestive tract. What they'll do is wipe out bad. They leave the good behind. So they actually do good for our body down there as well.
Let's talk about nanoparticles, because they wanted to understand the difference. This is perfect. The difference between colloidal silver and nano-silver particles. And then what are you actually encouraging me to swish my mouth and swallow, or swish my mouth and push out?
Well, you can do either, whatever you're comfortable with. I personally swallow. I recommend it. I mean, because the silver is good for us. So you rinse after brushing, and it enhances the silver in our mouth. And then, like I said, you can swallow it. There's nothing toxic in it, or spit it out. But either way, you're getting more silver in there. Then I recommend not to eat or drink for about 10 minutes afterwards to let that silver really soak in. Like I said, swallowing it does help digestively. So nanoparticles, the difference between nano and colloidal is what they've done is nano-silver has no ions in it. So they're not atoms of silver, they're actual silver. So they're nanoparticles of silver itself. Nanoparticles are 1 billionth of a size of a human hair. That's really small, very, very small. They're non-toxic to our bodies. It's not a heavy metal. Again, like I told before the break, Silver belongs in our body. It's a trace mineral that we need. It boosts our immune system. So it's not hurting us. It's actually doing some really good for us. So the nanoparticles are strictly pure particles. Particles are not reactive. So they don't react with things. So when they come in contact with stomach acids, they're still silver. When you got ions, they're reactive. They'll change. But particles are particles, so they'll actually pass through digestion. They actually absorb faster as well because nanoparticles are so small. They actually absorb sublingually a lot faster than a colloidal silver will as well, and they're more powerful. So since it's real silver and not ions, once they come in contact with bacteria, they will kill the bacteria. Okay, so that's a great thing. But then they basically deactivate and then they're done. So it's a one and done deal. Where nano-silver's particle silver, when it kills the bacteria, it can move on to kill again and again and again. So it's more of a rapid fire because it keeps killing in your body versus killing one time and deactivating. So again, way stronger.
Hold on, I'm just, so hold on here. So I swish this in my mouth and it's killing what needs to be killed because it, in my mouth. And then let's say I have an issue with my intestinal tract. Let's say I have a parasite or whatever. Will it kill a parasite?
I mean, there's been some studies on it. I'm not gonna. Some parasites it probably will. Some in fungus as well. There's some funguses that silver's not as effective on, but there's other things that are kind of like we talked about. There's not one category for everything. So silver's pretty awesome, but its main thing is bacteria. That's its big thing. It does kill funguses. It does kill viruses. So bacteria and viruses are its major thing in the immune boosting qualities of it and stuff too.
So I decided to look it up. It says in vitro effective silver nanoparticles. So it's in vitro on blastocystis hominis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but new promising emerging drug carriers that prove to be effective in treating parasitic diseases. So silver nanoparticles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was going to say it does. I mean, it does kill it, but I'm not going to say it's the. There might be things that like ivermectin is a better parasitic than silver is, but.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So you have to look at, what's available to you, what is your body like, because everybody's body is different, and so it's going to respond differently to the stuff. This is amazing. So
yeah, I mean,
the crowd. So Zelda, Gary. So Gary Clemens, you're new to our show, at least as far as commenting. Thank you for joining us today. And we put the link in there if you want to get your toothpaste today and your well, I would get the kit. This is kind of like a no-brainer, man. I mean, otherwise you're just using a shit stick. I'm just that's my new technical term.
Shit stick. That's pretty much, yeah. And the like I said, we designed our whole program kind of around that. So, I mean, we replace your toothbrush once a month for you. Everything in our kit's about a month supply. So this is about a month supply of toothpaste, and the rinse as well is about a month. And of course, we give you the toothbrush, and we even give you floss in there as well. So you got everything you need, and everything's about a month supply. So we do a monthly subscription that every month when you run out, we just send it out to you.
Yeah. So my husband is using it as well. And Vieta says, what are the best ingredients to balance the oral environment? So, Vieta, are you referring to the toothpaste? Are you saying your food you're eating, or, but you can start where you want to start, Larry.
Well, I mean, like I said, the big component in ours is the nano-silver. So nano-silver does really great things in our mouth. It not only kills those bacteria and germs and viruses, but it also heals our mouth. So it heals gum tissue. It regenerates enamel growth in our mouth, which can heal cavities. We're the only product on the market that can penetrate gum line. So our product actually goes below gum line and can eradicate bacteria below. Gingivitis thrives below gum line, we don't really have anything to kill that nowadays. Our product does. So on a regular basis, we brush below gum line as well as above. You mentioned about plaque buildup. Silver kills, that is caused by bacteria. It's actually 3 different bacteria cause and generate tartar growth in our mouth. And that's Streptococcus, mutant Streptococcus salivarius, and Bacillus. So those 3 bacteria in our mouth kind of combine and create that tartar growth, which is what we need to go to the doctor for and get that scraped off. Not a fun thing. I used to get it a lot too. The back of your teeth are probably the biggest contender because all of your saliva builds up there and causes that. So silver kills all 3 bacteria on contact, so literally instantly. So regular use of Nano-Silver, our product, your plaque can't grow. So you'll never ever have plaque issues again because the silver will prevent it from growing. So again, just what it does in our mouth is just amazing and does really well. I see one of yours says coconut oil, sea salt, and clove, all good things, and those are great because they're not fluoride. So when you get into not fluoride, I'm always a big that's awesome. Clove is really good, and it does some good things, for our mouth as well. You mentioned it, but as you mentioned, it's not a one size fit all. Those oils just cannot kill the bacteria that cause tooth decay or gingivitis, and some of the other streptococcus and stuff. I mean, these are difficult bacteria to kill. They're multi-structured organisms that resist and can fend off antibiotics and clove and other things like that. But silver, it cannot fight silver. So silver is the greatest killer of bacteria out there. So it can kill what they call gram-negative, gram-positive bacteria. Gram-negative bacteria is actually pretty easy to kill. I mean, water kills a good percentage of them. So when you see products that say, oh, we kill 99.9% of bacteria, they're talking about gram-negative bacteria. Again, pretty easy to kill. When you get into gram-positive, that's a totally different category. And that's why we can say, oh, it kills 99.9%. Yeah, what does it kill on the positive side? Because gram-positive bacteria, really difficult. I mean, again, antibiotics have a tough time killing this stuff. All this stuff that you're talking about is healthy for us, but it doesn't kill those bacteria, unfortunately. Silver does. Silver is one of the only things that kills gram-negative and gram-positive. And again, doesn't kill the good bacteria. So it is absolutely the best stuff that we should be using in our mouth, because not only is it eradicating all the bad, it's promoting the growth of the good. So it's doing our mouth, really building a better mouth biome, which is super important to our entire body.
Okay, so I decided to pull up this thing called gram positive versus gram negative. Right? Because if I don't know it, I'm going to assume other people don't know it. There's a YouTube video for 3 minutes that explains it. I don't know it, so I'm not going to just bring it up.
It's about a staining process. They stain bacteria, and they can tell whether it's a gram-negative, gram-positive. It's a purple stain, basically, and they can tell. It's just a stronger. So gram-positive bacteria are multi-cell structured bacteria. So they're meaning that their outer shell that protects them from antibiotics and from different things that try to kill them, they are more resistant to it because they have that multi-cell structure. It's difficult to get into them. So it's kind of their defense mechanism.
Positive is more difficult to get into.
Yes,
the negative. Okay.
Yeah, the gram-negative is easy to kill. Well, easier to kill. They're usually single cell structures, very thin membranes that are thin shell walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which are easy to get through. Clove will do that. A lot of water will kill some of them, but they don't kill all of them. So your gram-positive are multi-cell structured. So they are very difficult to kill. And those actually, not only thrive in our toothbrush, but in our mouths as well. So all that stuff is festering in our mouths. I mean, our mouths are, literally the filthiest thing in our body. I mean, we intake all kinds of germs and bacteria here. So this is our first defense. And our good bacteria is designed to kind of help fight off the bad stuff. But we always got this push-pull in our mouth, the good versus the bad. All the products on the market, unfortunately, are designed to kind of perpetuate the bad stuff to help it grow in and the good stuff usually loses the battle. And that's what we have: tooth decay, we have our teeth fall out, we have gingivitis, gum disease, all this stuff. This is all caused because, we're not taking proper care of our teeth. We're using products that perpetuate illness, fluoride and alcohol and stuff like that. So that's where we kind of pull back and, get into using products that are not only will kill that stuff and eradicate it, but help promote the better stuff. And it's actually good for our bodies as well. And it helps fix some of those problems. It can regenerate gum tissue, regenerate enamel growth. So it can actually help fix and reverse some of these problems that we've been having. And as far as whitening your teeth,
commercial, and then I would like you to come back and answer Vietta's question, which is about
the whitening.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on one sec. So we'll just go here.
Suson Essentials leads you to wellness by giving you access to more than 20,000 sustainably produced nutritional products delivered direct to your door. With a Place of Peace pop-up from Suson Essentials, you are able to increase productivity, mental acuity, leaving you with higher energy and peace in just 20 minutes. We pop up at our office or yours.
To the host and be a part of the solution.
Okay, so just a quick announcement. You having issues with audio on Blog Talk, and it was interfering with the overall audio of the show. And so Naima has been kind enough to run the show from her phone in Chicago when I'm here in Georgia. So thank you to Naima for that. So if you want to get this amazing toothpaste and the whole kit, there's your link right there. I put it in both Facebook and YouTube. Please, use that link. If you have any questions, you can call me or call Larry. So there's the contact information for me. And Larry, I'm going to put up your contact information as well. And let's see what we got here. So while I'm putting that up, why don't you carry on from where you were? So
I think it was to answer Vanetta, I think it was their question about whitening. So our toothpaste is a whitening product. It does help whiten teeth, but it's not a bleaching effect on it. So bleaching obviously does very quickly whitens your teeth up. What we do is actually it regenerates enamel growth. So as your enamel grows in, it actually comes in whiter. Charcoal is another whitening product, but what charcoal does is actually abrases the top layer of enamel. So it actually scratches the top layer off, making your teeth whiter because it's underneath, it's a little bit whiter, which isn't actually good for our teeth. So yeah, I mean, if you use that stuff, and I don't recommend it, but if you do, it should only be like once a month or once every couple months on it. But ours actually regenerates a new enamel. That new enamel comes in whiter. So it does whiten it, but it's a more lengthier process. A few months before you get some whitening out of it because it's regenerating the enamel.
Love it. And so, we live in this society where we want a one and done or immediate gratification.
Absolutely.
But really, if you're going to do this, in my opinion, the right way, you're going to allow your body to heal itself, which is not a one and done. You didn't ruin your body with one fell swoop, and you're not going to heal your body with one fell swoop.
Very true.
Okay. What other questions do people have? Because I think there's more to know. Should we go through the chart?
Oh, we could, sure, yeah.
So let me get a share screen. Here we go. Is that something that you can read well there, or?
I could say it pretty good, but the general is like, basically every tooth in our mouth are connected to a category in our bodies. There's actually a really good documentary for your audience to watch. Even you, I would recommend it. It's called Root, ROOT, Root Cause. And if you Google that, some places will be up to $3, $4, $5 to watch it, which would be money well spent. But I believe Plex, Plex, has it for free. I watched it for free, and it's an amazing movie.
Wait, I'm going to PLAX.
Plex.
PLEX. PLEX.
And
they cause.
Okay. Yeah, they have, and I watched it a while ago, so I don't know if it's still up there, but
there it
is. Is it free there still?
It sure is.
Awesome.
So I'm going to show this real quick. I'm going to switch the screens. And Fagla wants to come up. So just so you know.
Gotcha. So that is a documentary about the teeth, about root canals. I mean, that's the basic thing about it is root canals and how bad they are. But it also covers, basically how important our mouth is and our mouth biome and how we're interconnected to everything. And that comes into play with the chart that we're talking about. So every tooth has a function. And when we don't take care of our teeth and we have a lot of bacteria and growth, that's affecting, areas in our body, which is what the chart is. So, you watch that movie and they'll kind of get into that in a lot more detail. So it's just a great watch. But they did a recent study, and it's covered in that video as well. They took 1,000 women with breast cancer. And 90% of them, and that's a really big number, 90% of 1,000 is 900 women, had either a root canal or a cavitation or an infection in the second or the third molar, which is, if you get in the chart.
I'll go back.
I can't see the chart and put my finger on it, but
so I'll share that one. I still have them all up.
It's the second or the third molar on either side are connected to the breast. So they found that 90% of those women either had a root canal or a cavitation in the second or the third molar. And
what tooth number is that? I'm sorry. Is that 14?
That's number 2 and number 3. Number 2 and number 3 on both sides.
Oh, it's 2 and 3 and 14, 15. So it's left breast, right breast.
Yeah.
Correct.
And to further kind of, get those statistics up there, whatever side the cavitation or the root canal was on was the side of the breast that they had the cancer.
Right, right. I'm getting that.
You can't make that stuff up. So that's how bad this stuff is. So when we talk about it, it's pretty serious. Root canals are awful for us, but not only that, mouth health is super important and can cause, chronic disorder and disease elsewhere in our body. And it doesn't matter what you do or what medication that you're taking to help that. Chemotherapy for your breast or whatever, or a mastectomy. Guess what? That doesn't solve the problem in your mouth. You're still having the leakage. So you're not even correcting the problem. So there's a really big disconnect between dental and medical, and there really shouldn't be that. Dental and medical are kind of intertwined, and they used to be. I talked about that a little bit earlier. You go way back. The apple a day kept the doctor away. That was the dentist. The dentist actually healed our bodies as well because we're interconnected. And actually,
yeah, and I have a really cool dentist. I'm going to my dentist today because a crown fell off, and he's a biologic dentist, and I think that's
I was just going to say the best dentists that you can go to are biological dentists. Those are part of the IAOMT dentists. Those are holistic and biological. They go in order. Holistic is really good. Biologicals are the best. Biologicals treat your entire body. So they treat everything with your, in your mouth, because again, They're believers in this. We're interconnected. They don't ever use fluoride, by the way. That's a huge no-no. And they don't use amalgam fillings, the silver fillings, which aren't really silver, by the way. They're lead and mercury. A lot of people think they're silver, or they're not. But so they don't use those either. So they don't do root canals. So they're big believers in not doing root canals. So and they do other. There's other things that we can do for a dead tooth, such as like, biological dentists, since we mentioned it, are doing a lot with what they call ozone irrigation. So ozone's another.
Well, you
really,
must have been reading my mind, because that's what I have up on the screen here. But I have an issue, I think, with the ozonated water, because I don't think it takes out the crap. It doesn't take out all the crap.
What do you mean?
Well, so I'm looking it up right now. So, what is ozonated water? Because I think it says it kills all forms of bacteria, viruses, and pathogens. But see, I think it's leaving in like glyphosate, and it's leaving in fluoride.
Oh no. Well, ozone is essentially a component of reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis does remove fluoride. Now, I'm not going to say that we sell units that the ozone generators and I'm not going to sit here and say that they are ozone, that they remove the fluoride, but they are to a certain extent, because it's reverse osmosis. Now, it's not a reverse osmosis water system, so it's not completely taking that out. But I mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things that, I tell everybody, the better the water you put in these, the better the outcome. But it's definitely better than using your sink, which is what most people are using. So if you don't have a whole house RO and you can't afford that, or don't have the ability to do that, unfortunately, you're left using the sink water. This is a great alternative, because it does remove, I'd say, probably the majority of fluoride. But the big thing is it's destroying the bacteria, the germs, the viruses in your mouth, and it works as a really good rinsing agent. Now, dentists are doing ozone irrigation, where they are using a non-fluoride water to begin with, and then they're ozonating it, and then they're irrigating the tooth that would need the root canal. And what they found is that ozone reverses tooth decay. So it's not stops it, but like reverses it, especially with the use of silver, because silver has regenerative properties. So ozone and silver working together actually help rebuild the tooth. They, in a lot of cases, I'm not going to say they can do it all the time, they can save the tooth and not have to do a root canal. They can actually help save it. We already have the silver in our toothpaste, so the ozone is kind of the next step. So we use ozone as a, if you opt to get that option, the ozone would then replace your water. So you would about a ½ inch of water in a cup, and then add the silver in, and you rinse with that. Does an amazing job cleaning, penetration. If you have mouth problems, it can help cure a lot of them. And then again, you can swallow it.
Or get the whole house water filtration system. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But here it says, and like, guys, not everything you find on the internet is true. But
right.
I want to. So it says water purified by ozone is highly oxygenated, free of protozoa, fungi, germs, and bacteria, so it's safe to drink. Ozone water treatment will not remove total dissolved solids such as nitrates, sodium chlorides, or fluoride. And it doesn't. So that's what I'm saying. It's not getting rid of the fluoride.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It will remove a good portion of it, not all of it. Because it's not, I mean, that's what it's designed. That's not what that's doing. If you get
I went to my dentist, okay, and I'm the canary in the coal mine. That's how that is. And I know that they were using, good toothpaste and whatever there when they cleaned my teeth. But when I felt like the water was toxic, and they said they were ozonating the water. And I'm like, okay, I really don't understand ozonated water. But I went to the ozonated, I feel like there was fluoride in that water.
like it's not getting that out. And being that I'm the canary in the coal mine and I feel every little last thing, I'm like, that feels like a toxin to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it should, I mean, a good, not saying he's not good. I mean, a good biological dentist is going to be using some sort of RO system to filter out the fluoride to get it out and then ozonating the water. But, some may not
But
do
I
that.
don't know the answer to that. Like I
Yeah, if
didn't,
they're,
my mouth was open and they're working on it. So I'm like not able to ask all those questions. Right.
right. And they, like I said, they may not. I mean, a lot of us, I mean, just a lot of us don't think every day and like how how many times you come in contact with it. Even if you try, like you got the reverse osmosis in your house, you got a whole house system, and you're doing all these great things to help yourself. Well, guess what? We don't live in our houses all the time. You're out, you're traveling, you need water. People buy bottled water. Guess what? Bottled water's got fluoride in it. Or we're drinking
all sorts of crap. It's got
yeah,
glyphosate.
exactly. So, or we're drinking tea, or we're drinking pop. Both of those have fluoride in them, by the way. So everywhere you go, you're getting bombarded with it. So even if we're really trying, you're still getting it, unless you're just a fanatic, and that's tougher to do, carrying your own water with you and then making it and carrying it. Which
I do. I do. I sold my
Right.
last unit to Shaman Michael.
Yeah.
So I
Right,
make
and that's actually great that you do that, especially like I do a lot of shows traveling around. That's where we met at one of the shows, and I commend you because that's something I've never even thought of. It's like here, and again, I'm out of my house a lot. I'm traveling. I know I intake fluoride, and I'm hugely against it. But that's a simple solution. Bring one with you, and then boom.
Well,
I mean,
did you
I
use
usually
the shower
buy.
head?
I do. I have one. Yeah.
No, but did
I
you use
buy.
the shower head that he bought while you were here?
No, I have one in my house. I mean, I do have that already, so I use, but I don't travel with it. No,
Well,
but
that's
again,
my point.
that's my point. There is that we do these things in our house, but when you're traveling, it's a little more difficult. And I do not take my filter with me, and I'll be honest. Even if I did take it, I probably wouldn't go through the hassle of taking it off and putting it on. It's just a hassle.
But here's the thing. I think it's really important to go through the hassle. It's not that big of a deal. It takes us literally less than 5 minutes. We take one off, put the other one on. We use this small one right here, not the handheld. We travel with the small one, and then we travel with this one, which looks like the Berkey, but it's a pro one. And so, there's this lawsuit against Berkey, so I wouldn't be going buying them. But if you already have a Berkey, our replacement water filters themselves actually fit into the Berkey, so it's a good thing. But the shower head, like people, your skin doesn't have a filter, so if you're showering in unfiltered water, and while you're traveling, especially because that's really crappy water, you're the filter. If you're not using a filter, you are the filter. Like,
No,
period.
absolutely.
So I'm just gonna say that if you can brush your teeth every morning, you can wash your body in clean water, no matter if you're traveling or not. Like, you wouldn't leave your toothbrush at home. Why would you leave your shower head filter at home? Yeah,
no, actually, all good. But I think we're all creatures of habit, and we're all kind of lazy in a lot of areas. So that's kind of one of the things and actually, maybe it's not even laziness. A lot of it's you just don't think. It's like I promote this and talk about it all the time, and but I'm traveling. You go to hotels, and I'm not taking my shower heads off and replacing them. I probably should. But
I mean, it's 5 minutes and it saves your life, right?
It does. It does. I'm definitely not going to argue. That's definitely the way to do it for sure.
And
because I mean,
right is easy.
And they've proven. I mean, there's a here. Let's see if I have it. No, there's Dr. Burke. You could look him up. Dr. Burke was the he found that there was a correlation between fluoridation in a rise in cancer, and it was 1,000%. So everywhere that fluoride was introduced, because they introduced it back in or late 40s. Everywhere it was introduced, cancer rates rose by about 1,000%. That's huge. Fluoride causes cancer. There's no question about it. And
so get it out of your water. Get it out of your shower water. Get it out of your tap water.
Get it out of everything.
Yeah, get it out of your toothpaste. And that's why when someone and I love Panera and I love Chipotle, and they are, a responsibly produced company, but I sense that they're not filtering their water when they make their teas and their coffees. It's a thing. So, are you getting your coffee now?
Yeah, she brought me new coffee.
Yeah. And here's mine. I got my dandelion coffee. Woo-woo.
Actually, I got coconut water.
Even better. And so, we have to be a stand for ourselves and not be complacent and not say, oh, it takes too much, because you're going to be kicking yourself when you can't move at all. Right.
Yeah. We talked about what fluoride does to our mouths and tooth decay, fluorosis. Fluorosis is the number one cause of tooth decay. But they're also finding out, they just finished up some studies in 2019 and 2020, very recent, that fluoride also it absorbs and it stores in our bones, and it causes bone fluorosis. What is bone fluorosis? Oh, well, that's osteopenia, that's osteoarthritis, it's joint pain. All that joint pain and everything that we get nowadays is from fluoride. Yeah, you go back to, your grandfather's, grandmother's, fathers. You go back a few generations, and hell, these people, they're 80 years old working in fields, with, digging up stuff, huge gardens, and they're out there at, 80 years old. I mean, shit. 50-year-olds can't do it nowadays. Everything aches and pains and stuff like that. These guys were healthier than oxes, and that's because they didn't have the fluoride. The fluoride is actually causing a lot of our problems.
Well, and fluoride calcifies your pineal gland. So
does that too?
Spiritual, yeah. So if you're spiritual like me, and you want to connect with spirit, with God, and maybe you want to only have a one-way conversation. If you want to have a one-way conversation, do fluoride.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Right? If you want to have a two-way conversation,
incidentally, one of the ways to decalcify your pineal gland is silver. Nano-Silver specifically can actually pass blood-brain, and it actually can
I was going to ask you that about a half hour ago.
Yeah, it can cleanse actually the pineal gland as well. So they use Nano-Silver, vitamin C, and neem, NEEM, are the three components that can actually help cleanse your pineal gland.
Yeah. So Zelda says, no wonder all my senior buddies have joint pain. We all used regular toothpaste as kids. No wonder. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, peeps. Here's the thing. This is what everyone needs to understand. When you take a toxin or synthetic, your body doesn't know how to process it, and it stores it in your fat cells because or your bones, right? Yeah.
Well, your body actually, fluoride specifically, because fluoride kills the soft tissues of our body. It's actually that toxic. So your body, they're wonderful creations. They actually say, hey, this stuff's killing us, so we need to. That was Kitty. So the body actually tells our bones to absorb all the fluoride, because otherwise it'll destroy the soft tissue. So our bones start absorbing all of it to protect the rest of our bodies. That's where the problem comes in.
Which is why we have osteoporosis.
Yep, that's exactly why.
Crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
Over time, it's killing us slowly and causing problems, arthritis, like I said, osteopenia, all that stuff is caused by fluoride.
Well, and then you get those heavy metals. Sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rabbit trail here. So you get all the heavy metals that are in the water. Those are being stored there too. And then you couple that with the
technology, 5G, 10G that they're rolling out, right? And so you're a hot box, you're a walking hot box.
Absolutely. And here, this is a little, I'll share this real quick here. I'll just do a quick screen share. If I can do this again. Can you see that?
That's us. Oh, there we go. All right, so let me add that to the stream.
That is, that right there is where fluoride comes from. So a lot of people wonder, hey, where does this crap come from? That's
Whoa. One second. So where does fluoride come from?
So fluoride is a lot of people think, well, it's a natural product. It comes from the ground. It's a mineral.
Well,
it's not. It's
well,
none
it
of
does
those.
in one sense, but I get that they're manufacturing it.
No, it doesn't in any sense, actually. It is a man-made product. So fluoride is a byproduct or a waste byproduct of making phosphate fertilizer. So that actually was a picture of one of the largest manufacturers of phosphate fertilizer in the whole country. That's in Polk County, Florida. They manufacture phosphate fertilizer, and a byproduct or the waste of a byproduct of that is fluoride. So fluoride is literally toxic waste. That's what it is. That is what it is. It's a waste. In actually, the EPA actually categorizes fluoride as hazardous waste material. And when they remove fluoride, they have to use hazmat suits because it will kill you. Less than a gram, which is a small amount, will kill a full-size human being.
I usually I like to find this stuff out like before my show, right?
Yeah, always lots of good stuff. Yeah, it's the main ingredient in rat poison.
Well, that I know too, and they use that back in.
That's right, because that's because it'll kill you. So fluoride is literally the soot that accumulates in the smokestack. So that picture that I sent, you see the smokestacks building all the smoke out. They have to, like back in the 40s, they actually, when they were making that, all that fluoride went into the air and it killed cattle for about 100 miles. 100-mile square radius, it was killing cattle and other animals and people. They have massive lawsuits in Florida still today, but that haven't been settled by the government. But at that point, they actually dictated that they have to have what they call stack scrubbers. So they have scrubbers that run up and down the stacks to take out the impurities of the fluoride out of there and accumulate it. Well, then you got this powdery crap, which not only is fluoride, but it has radioactive particles in it. It has lead. It has arsenic. It has, it's crap. It's literally soot. So they actually take that with no further purification, by the way, and they take that and dump it into our water. That is what they put in our water. So it doesn't just have fluoride in it. It has all kinds of horrible contaminants. And when I say it's put in our water, it's put in the very last stage of water purification. So after it's taken out all the particles and after it's scrubbed and done all this, and the very last final filtration that's done, so we have pure water, they dump fluoride in. So just before it comes out.
I want to show you all something though here. So first of all, thank you for that, because that's just crappy. But so it's kind of like the shit stick, right? So on here, this is if you're not familiar with FAN, which is the Fluoride Action Network.
Very good. Very good site. There's all kinds of great information and videos on there about fluoride.
Yeah. So thank you. And so what people don't realize, and another reason why it's so important to have a shower head, okay, is because when you're showering in fluoride, okay, it has been known to increase blood glucose levels and impair glucose tolerance, likely by inhibiting insulin production or secretion. So if you're showering in fluoride, right? How
Which
good
you
is
all
that?
are.
Which you are, unless you're filtering, and you're a diabetic or you're pre-diabetic, this is harmful to you. And then the other thing, some quick facts. says 97% of Western Europe has rejected water fluoridation.
Well, the majority of the world has rejected fluoridation. There's only 33 countries that actually promote fluoridation. United States is the biggest pusher of it. The rest of the world does not do it. Actually, in Germany.
Sorry. Ho, ho, ho. So of course, the United States is the biggest pusher of it. We're also the poorest nation when it comes to our health. We're on more drugs than any other nation.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
That's not accidental, by the way. China, everybody talks about China and how bad they are with their people and everything, and blah blah blah. Well, China actually fluorinated their water in the 70s. They stopped by 1983. They stopped fluoridation completely because
in China,
the population of their people had their teeth falling out. So they, of all people, stopped it. So China doesn't fluoridate because it's harmful to their population.
Well, and here's the thing.
But we do.
China understands medicine, right? Traditional Chinese medicine.
Yes.
So Zelda says here, did he say fluoride is the main ingredient rat poison?
No, I certainly did.
So the answer is yes. And if you go back, and I'll see if I can find it, Zelda, but I mean, it's through it's called The Truth About Cancer, that docuseries. And I actually I think I have the infographic, but I'll just see if I can look it up faster. The Truth About Cancer, and then it's fluoride. Let me just do that. Fluoride and rat poison, right? Wait till you see this crap. And I'll go for images versus documents. So it's just, I guess I don't have quick access to it, but the answer is yes. They've been using this since World War II that I'm aware of. Was it sooner than that or not?
Well, Nazi Germany, Hitler used fluoride in the concentration camps to dumb down the prisoners. So it's a neurotoxin that affects your brain. So it makes you docile. So Hitler used it, and so do we. But I think, we pretty much got it from him because we got all the scientists out of Germany and brought them back to the United States so they can do all these evil testing stuff on our citizens instead of theirs. But interesting enough, Germany doesn't fluorinate. And the reason Germany doesn't fluorinate is because part of the Nuremberg trials, the crimes against humanity, they outlawed it because Hitler used it. So it's completely outlawed in their laws. It states that they're not allowed to fluorinate water because of the use of it through the concentration camps.
I'm going to do like a happy pill when I'm done. I'm going to go take like lemon essential oil or cheer essential oil, something, because it's so depressing to me that, so in the Nuremberg trials, yes, it was banned, right, because of that. But we, as a world, have had so many crimes against humanity, and I don't understand.
Oh, I understand. It's intentional.
I understand it's intentional, but I don't understand.
Well, I guess it's a good thing to understand that you got to be truly an evil person. So that's why you don't understand.
Well, I mean, I understand there's a money trail, right? And I just it's so hard for me to process that.
It's hard for a lot of us to process, but yeah.
That we
but they not only poison our water, they poison our food, they poison our air, they poison everything. So population control, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I realized something that they said. We have a garden, a few, and one is going really, really well because they're hardy. They're potatoes, purple sweet and red potatoes, right? And then the other garden is not doing as well. We've got cucumber. Some of them are growing really well, but I talk to plants, I talk to animals, whatever, and we've been having a lot of rain, and I noticed that their leaves were a little wonky. And they said to me, "You need to shower me with your water after the rain." Because my water that I use is filtered for the whole house, and I go there and I use my filtered water on the garden. What they were trying to tell me is that their leaves were burning from the chemicals in the rain. It's chemical rainwater.
Well, I mean, when they do the chemtrails, those chemtrails create a lot of toxic chemicals in the air, and when it rains, it brings all those chemicals down to earth and in our plants and food.
Right. So that's why there's really no such thing as organic. I
Hardly.
want people to understand that. But you have to know your farmer. You have to know that they, their intention on it. And then honestly, people, the power of love and the power of prayer. So we had Jeremy Freeman on. You met Jeremy, right? Jeremy Freeman. He's Freeman Formula, the big bodybuilder who's got that brain health formula. He was at Orlando with us. And
Okay.
really great guy. And so on his tanks that make his tonic, okay, he's got words like love, peace, joy, harmony, because he's imprinting a different energy on, a lovely high vibration energy on everything that he sells, right? And we are
Because
putting
words are powerful.
Oh, yes, they are, and that you can imprint anything on anything. So when I see someone I don't like, I imprint a heart on them because, I have to shift it because I can't put that energy out there. So it's a new practice. I see someone I don't like, I just imprint a big old heart and love on their body. But when I see a toxic food, I imprint skull and crossbones on that. So there you go. But the point is that, oh, Naima has a question. She says, so who came up with the brilliant idea to put toxic waste in the water for our teeth? The government? Yeah, well.
Well, it was actually, I mean, specifically, it was the Pentagon, actually. So it's the military actually decided to do that because fluoride actually, the deeper you dig with the stuff, I mean, it gets, more and more obvious. But there was a Dr. Hodges, you can look him up. He's basically the father of fluoride. So Hodges actually was hired by the military, by the Pentagon, to actually find a way to make fluoride a positive thing because they needed it to be positive because they needed the production of fluoride. And so they didn't want to stop, even though it was killing people and causing cancer and everything else. So they needed to spin that because, of course, now the lawsuits were starting to pile up, and because, you can't go around killing people. And so they had to find a positive twist on it. So Hodges was actually tasked with this, with this. And he discovered after killing his wife, one of his children, maiming his other one drastically, and killing multiple amounts, I mean, hundreds, thousands of animals, to find a safe level of fluoride. It was that difficult to do because, it's not safe at all. But they found that at 0.007 parts per million, which is a very small amount, by the way, that it would kill bacteria that cause tooth decay, but it wouldn't kill you. And
Yeah.
thus
No.
that was
Kill
born.
you on instant case. Wouldn't kill you on
Yes.
instant case.
It won't kill you instantly, although over time, because it doesn't purge from your body. But
Oh, you cut
that
out.
wasn't part of the study, of course. One study in 1942. One study done in 1942 is what they put everything on, and that's why it's in our water, it's in our toothpaste, it's in everything. And the true reason behind that is fluoride has a very unique feature to it. So fluoride is it's what enriches uranium. So without fluoride, a bomb doesn't blow up. So they need fluoride as an enriching agent to uranium to make the atomic bombs. So that's the arms race back in the 40s. The whole world was looking to make nuclear bombs and be like the United States. Well, all the other countries kind of had to back off of it because they were literally killing their people by producing it. Well, the United States said, no, we got this, don't worry. So they made it good for people. So they did a huge propaganda campaign to say how great fluoride was for it. So now anytime they had a lawsuit against them that said, hey, your fluoride caused cancer, they were like, shut up. It's in our water, man. And that's literally what they do today. There's been thousands and thousands of lawsuits against fluoride, and every single one of them are thrown out because you're a whack job conspiracy theorist, and it's in our water and it's healthy for us because they told us it was. And it's never been contested until now. Now, the Fluoride Alert Network, that's a huge site. There's a huge push to get this removed out of our water. And they're actually having some success in getting that done. But because they got all this literature now and studies that are indisputable on how horrible it is for us. And so there's an enormous push right now that's actually starting to really kind of take root on it. But the more people that are aware, the more people that put it out there, the better success they'll have. So it's just a thing of, we got to get it out there. But that's where it comes from. So it makes bombs. So we need that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the tip of the iceberg, right? I'm on the fluoride, not the fluoride, the EWG.org tap water search base, right? So somebody give me a zip code for Illinois.
60462.
Okay. 60462. And I'm just going to share this. Yeah, jaw dropping is right, Deborah, right? Because that's what I told. I've been waiting for a long time to learn even a lot about like how each organ was connected to our teeth, but it's yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you all this. So this is what I learned about. This is the EWG.org tap water base. By the way, they have a bottled water base too. Okay. The EPA hold new limits for PFAS in drinking waters. Okay. So it's got the State of American Drinking Water, nitrate in tap water, the water EWG's water filter guide, proposed limits for PFAS. If you don't know what a PFA is, it's a forever chemical, gets into your body. It's a bad day. So let's go to city of Chicago, right? Because I know of a lot of friends. And so in the city of Chicago, can we see this? Yeah. Okay. We have 13 contaminants detected. Legal, by the way, they exceed the EWG healthy guidelines, but 22 total contaminants. And so it's legal, but it's not safe. And I want you to look at this. And eventually I will know how to pronounce these, but I think I just purposely don't want to. So it's bromodichloromethane is 123 times the EWG's health guideline. There is no legal limit for it. And chloroform is in the water, chromium, dibromatis, whatever, acetic acid 16 times, dibromochloromethane 42 times, haloacetic acids 103 times for HAA5, but HAA9 is 319 times the guideline. Trihalomethane 141 times the guideline. Radium 13 times the guideline. And here's what you want to know, because I haven't read it once, but because it's the same thing across every single one, the potential effect is cancer, right? On every single one of these.
Hugely, yeah.
Yeah. And so I skipped that on purpose because, and then there's this other link. This is exceeds the guidelines, and this is others detected, right? And so you have all these other ones that are detected as well. Fluoride, testosterone, that's great. So barium, chromium, and then 5 quarters so City of Chicago compliance with legally mandated federal standards from April 2019 to March of 2021. City of Chicago complied with health-based drinking water standards, and 5 quarters are in violation of any federal drinking standard from April 19th of 2021. I mean, you guys, and so you have a divine right to healthy water. And I'm just going to say, start complaining, start voting. Start asking. I know that a lot of, Deborah had put in 60643. It's close enough. It's going to be the same shit.
Yeah,
Same shit, Deborah. And so if you're, I know that a lot of my sisters here of the microphone work very closely with the politicians. Start asking them, and actually ask once, demand after that.
You got to write letters to the Congress and stuff to try to get this removed, but it is difficult. I mean, water. You look at all that crap in it. It's supposed to be water, right? And it's
right.
I always tell people a lot of times you go in and you buy bottled water and it's got ingredients. Why would water have ingredients? Give me a break. It should be water, 100%. But no, it's got all this crap in it.
That's why I sell these water filters, because when I was disabled, so I was disabled for just under 4 years. So I go back to work. I had switched apartments and I got a new shower head. And right now I represent Pro One water filters. And when I got a new shower head, I couldn't remember Pro One's name. So I just bought a different shower filter, not realizing they weren't all taking out fluoride and all the other stuff. And I mean, literally in days, my symptoms came back, which was all over body pain, brain fog, irritability, moodiness. And so if you're not willing, and here's the thing, there is something, I don't care if you're on a budget, I don't care. Like, there's something you can give up so you can afford an $84 shower head. It's $84. And the replacement filter goes in every 3 to 4 months, and it's $40. So if you're not willing to spend $10 a month on yourself, so you can have health, vitality, and then get your toothpaste, right? So then start using this so that you don't have, wrong way, so that you, can, kill the things in your mouth that you don't need to have in there. So anything, what do you want to add? Because I'm on a rant. He's like, I got a break.
No, I mean, the water is the essence of life. So, I mean, we need good, healthy, clean water. We're a big component of that as well. We do like I said, the ozone generators and the hydrogen generators. Hydrogen's super healthy for us too. And just a good, healthy toothpaste for us that's not, that it's designed to, like you said, get rid of the bad, but promote the growth of the good bacteria, heal our mouths, heal our body. So it's just, there's a lot of different things. Like you said, there's different categories of everything. I mean, it's not a one size fits all. There's a lot of different things. And if you want to be truly healthy today and live a longer, healthier life and stuff, there's just a lot of aspects to it. The mouth is one of them and happens to be a pretty big component of it. My company is really, I consider us a wellness company for the whole body. It just happens to start in the mouth. And we're, about fluoride free everything. So not only toothpaste, but water as well. That's kind of the next generation or the next step, is removing it from our lives completely. It should not be there. But even that, like you said, we have a perfect world. We have a self-contained, biosphere in our house where we have healthy everything, healthy water, healthy toothpaste. We're showering ourselves with good stuff. We still have to take that awareness out in the real world because we're constantly bombarded by that. The food we eat, the air we breathe, and everything. So it's difficult today. So, but all this stuff, at least the stuff that we do in our houses and that we can help, start helping our body, because our bodies are pretty amazing. They heal themselves. If we give it a chance and stop toxifying it, but we're bombarded by toxins every day. But we start with the low hanging fruit and then kind of work your way up, and that's, like I said, partly I agree with you a lot with the water. We're big in that as well, but the toothpaste as well. That's getting into that whole fluoride toxin free environment for our bodies, and that will help our bodies heal ourselves and kind of get us into a healthier mode.
Well, and I brought this picture up because I want people to see this. The number of bacteria per square inch in your bathroom, it's like jaw dropping. Like Deborah was saying, the toilet is 295, the floor 764, your tap 6,267, the bath 120,000, bathroom surface 452, your light switch 217. Your toothbrush is 200,000. Like crap. That's the shit stick, right? And so that's why I have, I'm going to stop the share screen so people can see this. You guys, I can't tell you how important this piece is, that the fact that I can feel the difference on my toothbrush, when I put it in here. It takes 5 minutes, and it uses UV, right, to clean it, to sterilize it. And so and there it goes again, sterilizing it twice. And I think that's such an important component to your health. We can't be lazy, guys. We have to, and it gets easier, right? So it takes, I don't know how long it takes to develop a new habit. 30 days, 20 days, something like that.
Yep.
Somewhere around there. Start the new habits, right? Support local, meaning, Larry's local to you, I'm local to you. Stop supporting Colgate or whoever those other big companies are that are, they don't have your best interest at heart, right? This is a free show that we do, and this is my give back to the community so that they can have free access to information. Doesn't cost you anything to listen on YouTube, doesn't cost you anything to listen on Facebook. It does cost you time, but this is a gift. And so, so I ask that you subscribe to our channel, Suson Essentials, and to follow us on Facebook. If you want, you can also subscribe to my YouTube or my website. So you can get, I probably send out 2 emails a month. I don't have time to do all the emails. I try to do my best to keep you informed. And that's what the purpose of the emails are. And also to let you know what we're doing here in terms of events. But we really focus on educating everyone. Reach out to Larry at freshmouthclub.com if you have more information, or if you want more information. He is in the Chicagoland area, but you're traveling all the time, right? So
yeah, we're like I said, we're basically a subscription company, so we mail all across the country, and I do shows pretty much everywhere. Actually, next weekend I'll be in Florida, where I'll be out in Lakeland, which is just in Tampa, in Florida, doing a show next weekend, and so pretty much every weekend I'm usually somewhere else. So I travel quite a bit and do a lot of trade shows and expos around the country.
Yeah, I how much is it to get started again with the Fresh Mouth Club?
So our like I said, we do sell all of our products individually, so you don't have to do a subscription for our program. We recommend it. We make it cheaper, so we give you a lower cost if you do our subscription, and we give you free shipping. So if you order, like our toothpaste is $9.95 a tube, so you can order it online. It's $9.95. There's about $4 shipping. It costs you about $14. Our whole kit, which is the toothpaste, the toothbrush, the mouthwash, the floss, the timer, we give you everything, so everything you need. We deliver that to the door for only $19.95, and that's delivered and everything. So again, we make everything cheaper. We give you free shipping on it to make it easy. And then again, we just kind of take the guesswork out. You don't got to worry about the last time you use your toothbrush or when it's time to replace it. We just, it shows up at your door. So we do either monthly, every other month, or every 3 months. So, if you do want to just do it every 3 months, that's fine too. And everybody's brushing habits are a little bit different. So, some people don't go through a tube quite that fast, and some people go through it faster. So we have fixes for all that. We try to kind of, if it's every other month for you, then we do every other month, or we can just do an extra tube 1 month to kind of make up so that by the end of the month you got an extra tube so you don't run out. So we try to customize it to everybody.
You've got, we talked about this, and I think it's important as long as we have a couple minutes. Can you talk to me about the toothbrush? Because you have I see. You didn't see the screen. Damn. So these two different toothbrushes. So we have here, this one. I thought I was sharing this. Forgive me.
So that's our manual kit. And then we have that. So that's got obviously your manual toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, floss, timer. So that's and then to the left of that, we have the UV in there. So you can get our ultra kit, which carries the UV. And then,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the UV. So the kit itself is $19.95. If you put the UV in there, it's $39.95. So it's $59.90 for the whole kit. Well, obviously, that's just the first month because the UV you don't need every month. Then it's $19.95 a month after that. And then we do this.
That's so important, people. Get the damn UV thing, okay? The UV sanitizer.
UVs are pretty cool.
It's huge. And then can you explain to everyone the electric toothbrush versus the manual? And because I know that I'm using a brand that has a lot of EMF, and which is why I'm doing manual right now. So can you do that, please?
So we do electric as well. Our electric kits are $21.95. So it's just a couple bucks more because the heads are more. If you look now, we have True Sonic, so we use Sonic technology. Philips Sonic, which is obviously would be a competitor. They have a lot of different models. Basically, sonic waves kick in at 28,000 vibrations per second. So anything that does 28,000 or above is a true sonic toothbrush. Now you can go above that. So like our the Sonics, Philips Sonics base units are 28,500 vibrations per second, which is a good toothbrush. Those are right around $100 each. You can get into their better toothbrushes, and then they have what they call their Elite series. Their Elite series does 38,000 vibrations per second. It's a really nice toothbrush. It's $300. Our unit, we have the highest rated Sonic on the market. Ours does 48,000 vibrations per second. Nobody else even comes close to that. And we also use UV sanitation. So you can see kind of in the back of that picture, there's that thing that looks like a base unit. That's the base. So your toothbrush actually fits in there. There's a cup on the back that lifts up, and that's a UV cleaner, just like the manual brush has UV. Our Sonics also have UV as well. So we have UV sanitation built into our product because we think that's really important. So when you're done, you remove your head, you put it in the UV to clean it, just like you do on the manual side. And then we replace it again. Even the electrics, they should be replaced every month too. And unfortunately, when you get like your Sonics or your Oral-B's and stuff, a lot of people don't change their heads every month because they're so expensive. I mean, it's $20. I mean, some of their Sonics, their newer ones, are $30.
Over at Costco of the head, so I was changing mine every month for sure,
which is good. But a lot of people, even if you buy the kit from Costco, I used to do that before I even did this. And guess what? A year later, I still had the majority of them underneath my sink because I forgot to change them. So you forget to change it too.
Every month actually kind of triggers you to do the action step.
Yes. It's it's time,
And I want to thank Vieta Robinson. She just ordered her mint toothpaste. She says, looking forward to the experience. Thank you, Vieta, for the purchase. And I have to go to the dentist. So I got to go. But I want to thank everyone. And Larry, thank you so much. What a breath of knowledge and breath of fresh air, right? Fresh breath, fresh mouth.
That's right.
Really so grateful that you came on and shared your knowledge. And, I'm constantly a student, right? I mean, I think I know something and then I find something out different. So we'll have to do this again. All right.
You bet. No problem. I had a lot of fun. I
Me
appreciate it.
too. Yeah, so I'm just gonna quick run our ending, and thank everybody for following us on Facebook and YouTube. This will be aired on all platforms that have podcasts. So Podbean, Apple, Spotify. Look for Cell Care and Susan. It's Susan Essentials, but under the podcast itself, Cell Care. All right. Thank you, everyone.